The Assembly will hear an address by His Excellency Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. I request protocol to escort His Excellency and invite him to address the Assembly.
Distinguished Madam President, distinguished Secretary General, heads of delegations, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly delighted to extend my congratulations to you with the 80th anniversary session of the United Nations General Assembly. Our meeting today is taking place in a complex, rapidly changing global situation that calls for new approaches to the work of our organization and its future. Today, across the world, the role and place of international institutions are weakening. Confrontations, conflicts, and wars are intensifying. Technological and social inequality is increasing. An economic and humanitarian crisis are deepening. All of this is creating an entirely new and unsettling geopolitical reality. We highly commend the efforts of His Excellency Secretary General Antonio Guterres aimed at maintaining our organization as a main platform for the peaceful resolution of the most difficult and pressing global issues. In this regard, we fully support the UNAT initiative and reaffirm our strong commitment to the Pact for the Future. We support the transformation of the United Nations Security Council and the expansion of its membership in order to effectively address current threats and challenges and protect the interests of the developing countries. Distinguished participants of the session, we are pursuing a policy to build a democratic, law-governed, social, and secular new Uzbekistan in full alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals. To this end, we are consistently continuing our irreversible reforms. Our top priority goal is to fundamentally transform the lives of each and every family and citizen in our country to enhance human dignity and well-being. In recent years, we have managed to reduce the poverty rate in Uzbekistan from 35% to 6.6%. We have achieved this result primarily through the transformation of the education and science sector, establishment of innovative industries and high-tech manufacturing enterprises, modernization of green energy and transport infrastructure, comprehensive development of small businesses, and as a result, the creation of millions of jobs. In our country, preschool education coverage has increased from 27% to 78%, while the higher education uptake among our youth has risen from 9% to 42%. Most importantly, we consider enhancing the prestige of the teaching profession as a key issue. In order to create a single international platform for the exchange of teachers' experience and knowledge, we propose to hold a World Summit on Professional Education in Uzbekistan. We are also creating an advanced healthcare system in our country. We invite all our foreign partners to participate in a high-level event dedicated to the fight against childhood cancer and other serious diseases, which will be held tomorrow at our initiative at the United Nations headquarters. Another important area is gender policy. We aim to further strengthen the role of women in social, political, and business life of our country. We advocate for holding the Asian Women's Forum on a regular basis in our region, turning it into a permanent platform. I would like to emphasize once again, we remain committed to our obligations in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. By the year 2030, we intend to join the ranks of upper middle income countries. To this end, we will consistently continue our open and pragmatic policy. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 years ago, from this esteemed podium, we declared our firm determination to transform Central Asia into a region of peace, good neighborliness, and partnership. Today, we can confidently declare that we have achieved this strategic goal. The era of closed borders, unresolved disputes, and conflicts is in the past. In recent years, the volume of mutual trade, investments, and transportation of goods in our region has increased fivefold. We are implementing joint investment funds, cross-border trade, and industrial cooperation zones, and major infrastructure projects. We also recognize as a common achievement that the consultative meeting of the heads of the state of Central Asia have become an effective mechanism for deepening regional integration. I can confidently affirm that as of now, we are at the beginning stage of the forming a new Central Asia. Our region, thanks to its unity, stability, and distinct identity, is steadily securing a stronger position in the system of international relations as an independent actor. In order to achieve our goals, we intend to give top priority to expanding mutually beneficial ties with all our foreign partners. In this regard, together with UN structures, we propose to implement a number of new projects and programs in our region. In particular, we propose holding an international forum under the auspices of ECOSOC and UNCTAD, dedicated to the economic development of the Central Asian states, establishing a regional hub for green technologies in industry jointly with UNIDO, adopting program on the rational use of water resources, the creation of green spaces, and the achievement of demographic resilience in our region. In addition, we propose the adoption of UN General Assembly resolution supporting the efforts of the Central Asian countries aimed at deepening regional partnership and economic integration. Distinguished heads of delegations, speaking about global and regional security and sustainable development, it is impossible to overlook the issue of Afghanistan. Supporting the aspirations of Afghan people for a peaceful and stable life requires the united efforts of the international community. I would like to emphasize that it is of utmost importance to prevent this country's isolation. We intend to implement large-scale economic and infrastructure projects in that country. We propose to adopt a dedicated UN resolution on the development of transport and energy corridors of international significance through the territory of Afghanistan. At the same time, we cannot turn a blind eye to the deeply worsening humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip. We call for an immediate cessation of hostility and the continuation of political negotiations. In line with the UN resolutions, we remain steadfast supporters of the two-state solution principle. We are also deeply concerned by the situation around Ukraine. We welcome the start of the high-level dialogue aimed at resolving the crisis through diplomatic means. Distinguished participants of the event, effective measures are being undertaken to implement the global counterterrorism strategy in Central Asia. In cooperation with the UN Office of Counter-terrorism, a regional council on rehabilitation and reintegration was established. We propose to transform this council into an international competence center. This very body will serve as an important platform for exchanging experiences on adapting to peaceful life for those repatriated from conflict zones. Furthermore, we stand ready to provide all the necessary conditions for the establishment of the Regional Office of Counterterrorism in Uzbekistan. Dear ladies and gentlemen, in today's world full of threats, we are witnessing how vulnerable the global transport system is. These challenges primarily have a negative impact on the stability of landlocked developing countries. It is of utmost importance to ensure the security of international transit corridors and to establish efficient logistics networks. In this regard, we believe the time has come to introduce a global mechanism on strengthening transport connectivity to achieve sustainable development goals. I would also like to draw special attention to the increasingly acute challenges of climate change. For instance, the consequences of the RLC desiccation must remain at the constant focus of the international community. We are consistently continuing our work to restore the RLC ecosystem. In recent years, salt-tolerant desert plants have been planted on 2 million hectares of the dried seabed of RLC. By the year 2030, green cover will be created on 80% of this area. Another serious issue is the water scarcity. As of now, more than 2 billion people in the world do not have access to clean drinking water. We are planning to hold a World Forum on water saving in our country. The outcomes of this conference are expected to recognize the water crisis as a serious threat to sustainable development. We intend to adopt a special roadmap for the wide introduction of innovation technologies in a global level. Another adverse consequence of climate change is the intensifying trend of climate migration. Unfortunately, clear international mechanisms and the legal framework in this direction have not yet been created. We advocate for the adoption of the Global Pact for a broad international partnership and coordinated policy on this serious issue. Dear participants of the meeting, it is of great importance to prevent inequalities in digital development and the use of artificial intelligence between countries. We propose to create an international cooperation mechanism aimed at the gratis exchange of practical solutions and models of artificial intelligence in healthcare, education, and culture. I would like to emphasize another priority issue. Our future, the destiny, and the prosperity of the world are in the hands of the younger generation. It is our urgent task to instill in the hearts and minds of our sons and daughters the most noble ideas, such as peace, humanism, and friendship, mutual trust, and respect. In this regard, we put forward the proposal to establish the World Youth Movement for Peace and to locate its headquarters in Uzbekistan. We are consistently implementing a policy of tolerance in our society. At the same time, we will actively continue our efforts to deeply study the ideas of Islamic enlightenment and promote them to the world. In the coming months, we will open the Center of Islamic Civilization, which is unique for our wider region. We intend to hold a special presentation at the United Nations of the rich spiritual and scientific heritage of our great ancestors, thinkers and scholars such as Imam Bukhari, Imam Tirmizi, and Imam Maturidi. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the new Uzbekistan is a supporter of mutual solidarity, open dialogue, and close partnership with all countries. We are always ready to contribute to strengthening dialogue among peoples, cultures, and civilizations, and to achieving universal human goals. I thank you very much for your attention.
On behalf of the Assembly, I wish to thank the President of Republic of Uzbekistan.